It's cleaver time!
Your laning is still weird because Mana Shield still counts as a level 1 spell, so you can't get it at... This backs off. I'm not going to be able to force too much as a solo Bloodseeker here. Side of 9 Panda should be able to snag top and River Rune up top, so it should end up even, maybe even extra if Kiyotaka works his way to the river. TSM should be able to Delta split there.
We've got pretty good chemistry.
The battle begins.
Does a lot in just holding them down and softening them up. I'm curious if Whitemon can get his positioning right. He should be able to. There is still punish from the side of 9 Pandas. If they can always jump the A.A, then... I mean, it still is a squishy hero. I think in lane it can feel pretty good though, with a right lane setup, and Whitemon will just head for the gate up top, so he's just going to be laning with Tomato. Yeah. Got some early vision.
Denied! First blood.
Those who tangle with the Sky Wrath risk a fall from starry heights.
Yeah, it's concussive, penitence, and the grenade. It's a lot of slows. You can't run from that. First blood does go the way of Antares, which probably isn't the best hero to give it out to. At the same time, you don't mind. You're getting the gold, you're getting some aggression out. And you manage to just back off into their lanes here as well and just kind of work it out. Ramses, it is a little bit of a tougher time for him on the safe lane, Bloodseeker. You do have good spacing here with the Primal Beast and with the Enchantress. You've got good right-click harass, early level impetus already up for Ahri. So you can just zone out Ramses, prevent him from trying to play with a Tristan lane, which is going to be key. If you slow down this Bloodseeker's farm, it impacts a lot of his early timings, which you really do want to hit. Something like the Maelstrom to accelerate your farm. Very sensitive kind of timing for the Bloodseeker.
It's better this way.
Radiant's turret has been killed.
Not for you!
You know what I really want to see, Ricky? I want to see Alchemist Bench. I think that's a lane combo that is just made for pain. Wave of Terror, Unstable Concoction, and Acid Spray. So much minus armor. I hear it can just get nuked down. That was the old SMG lane that they used to love to run. So, again, I'm just so sad. We're not going to see that ourselves, but hopefully SMG does it down line. Still, in this game, even just a Skyrat Mage on hand is more than enough. You do raise some good points about the Dusa. Like, Dusa versus Bloodseeker is super awkward. Not only does he not gain the turret, like even his shard feels pretty useless, right? Max percent HP damage on a hero with no strength is, yeah, that's kind of a joke. Still getting it enough out of the lane, not too far behind in comparison to Kasane, and not too far behind even in comparison to Tomato, who's been given a lot of room now on that Dusa. So overall, a little bit more of an even start in terms of lanes coming out, despite the 2-kill lead for 9 Pandas. does feel a little bit more playable. Your mid lane, though, is a lot better for Kiyotaka this time around. I mean, again, not too far ahead, but he's been able to dish the harassment onto Brawl consistently. Once you do reach that 5 into 6 for Brawl, though, that's when things get exciting. And we're not seeing as many rotations out onto the mid early on. So the impact of something like the Ancient Seal probably won't be felt. And if Brawl's allowed to reach 6 with no problems, he can definitely threaten. I still feel like Ancient Seal is pretty nice to go into, just because the duration increase is always big. You don't tend to see like early BKBs up. They are getting aggressive, but Ramses gets a nice little spot to hide and heal, and just kind of stay in that lane. Yeah, it's way too much. So, one of the necessary nerfs with Chen in the meta and with the buffs up. So down mid though.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Forces Brawl all the way back, so you get a lot of free room here for Kiyotaka as the power rune spawns up as well, forcing TSM to drag both their supports in to try and stop Kiyotaka from just snowballing out of control here. And this is pretty ridiculous from Antares here, Ricky. 3-0, all 3 kills on 9 Pandas being on the Skywrath Mage. Which again, probably isn't ideal. It feels great for a Sky. You know, you're able to get into your boots, you can sustain your mana with earlier arcanes. You're gonna feel pretty damn good for Antares and just dishing out that damage. And your side lanes are perfectly fine, kind of being left alone. Like, sure, you're not bullying out the Dusa, and Tomato is getting a lot more farm than you want him to, but Miero's not bullied out. He's able to farm up as well. He's got the Vanguard. Not going to be feeling that pressure down from the Dusa anytime soon, so you are allowed to play a more active Sky here. That's going to be a major threat coming out from the side of TSM. They can just easily run down a lot of heroes right now on the side of 9 Pandas. They've got a lot more play again in comparison to game 1. Their earlier spikes feel pretty strong here for the side of TSM to play aggressively up against 9 Pandas. And they're still pressuring mid. They're just surrounding Kiyotaka, though.
Knock you back to the Stone Age.
Oh, Antares.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Are you kidding? He got both of them. He's gonna hit 6, man. He's gonna have that damage for his team to play with. They don't have the best stun to combine that with, but
Radiant's top tower
just the threat of it, just the slows that can come out is probably more than enough to get a huge chunk of damage away on a lot of these cores. They're still focusing on mid here from the side of TSM, just again keeping all their supports here still having free lanes in the side to play with anyway. I mean, you don't have as much to worry about for Tomato, who's still being allowed to farm up, has that Dragonlance up. Now, some more HP to play with. I'm still keen to see what the response from 9Pandas will be, whether or not a Diffusal's in the line for them on someone like, say, Ramses here, just to get some easier control. Although, Kasane.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
that's something
is
that
under
feels
attack.
dreadful. And of all the heroes, it's the A.A. which feels so pivotal this game. They rotate Kiyotaka in.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top
Start
tower
to get a little
is
bit
under
play
attack.
going. Once that Rolling Thunder is off cooldown, get a good rotation out. He is going for his Diffusal Blade. That's C10-2 on the Pangolier. That thing hasn't changed yet for the hero, so you're still going to have that good ramp up in the aggression. And this space that TSM is creating is pretty big. Look, Tomato is keeping up with the Alchemist farm. Nero is not that far ahead. And he isn't going for something like the Radiance as well. True.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I like it into the end. I mean, it does kind of tie into how aggressive you kind of want to play on the Alc offlane. It can be active early on. I'm wondering if down the line he's actually just going to be like building Aghanim's for a few of these heroes. Again, Tiny Ags feels nice here. The Ags on a Bloodseeker is honestly really just not that bad, because you just get a free barrier every time. And they'll try to shove him out at the least.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Think of it as a new beginning.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There's a lot of instant burst potential coming out here from the side of 9Pandas. You have to be a bit wary of that. Once they reach that point where they can just grab this Dusa, that's where things can feel a bit dangerous for Tomato despite all the space out. Like, you are highly durable. At the same time, once your mana's gone, I mean, you have 400 HP here right now with Dragonlance. Agi treads though, so you can still get a little bit better, but not by a huge margin. And with all the attention 9Pandas is drawing away, they're getting a little bit of room for Ramses. His full Maelstrom is flying out now, so the farming pace of our Bloodseeker can kick into gear. 9Pandas, it's a little bit more passive in comparison to game one. Again, they found some early kills, but more on the cores. The cores are kind of cemented in their lanes. Whereas for TSM, they're working the jungle early. Tomato has some good stacks to clear out. Again, split shot is a hell lot better now, so you can actually clear out these early stacks much faster.
Dire's middle
And-
tower is under attack.
Can't.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Big stone. Unstoppable.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. And they still find the kills they
Dire's
want to
middle
here
tower
on the
has
side of
fallen.
9Pandas. 2 core
Radiant's
kills for
bottom
support.
tower has fallen.
They get the mid tower. They get to pressure
Dire's
onto the
middle
triangle,
tower
which
is under
is a
attack.
lot more important in this game because you are up against Dusa. I think in every other game the mid isn't as valuable because of the side camps, but Dusa is still here that enjoys this farming area just because of the stacks and how easy it is to just maintain those stacks there as well. So 9Pandas, a nice set of kills. They get themselves a strong start, strong opening here, 3k up. And And it's not all just on the Alk either. Like, the distribution with Kiyotaka and Ramses is still pretty good, although still no answers for Tomato. Still not finding that Dusa. Maybe they don't care about it too much. That could be a mistake going forward if the Dusa is just allowed to farm into the Manta, farm into her damage items, into her stat items with a Scotty coming out. That here does get scary if you don't bully it in a weaker laning phase.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Take that.
It's a
Dire's
good trade
top
coming
tower
out.
is under attack.
Getting that kill as well onto Tomato is huge. He should know that it's not the safest spot to rotate on.
Precious bounty.
And Pandas should be able to kind of clear out. They've already got the sentry down. They
Dire's
just need
top
some
tower
vision
is under
to
attack.
the high ground and clear out the side of TSM. I mean, this is solid for Tomato. Manta timing's gonna be on point.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling.
You're a sentimental thing.
Yeah. That just takes it out before they can get ND ward going. They are lining up for Ramses at least. And he
Dire's
doesn't have his
middle
full
tower
BKB
is
up
under
yet.
attack.
But they're not going to be in position to really jump him. A little bit too far out on Kasane. And a little bit stronger coming out. Like, Tomato now with a Manta, as you mentioned, can clear out camps, can clear out multiple parts of the map really well. But look at the position of 9 Pandas. Roger, he's got the army ready for the Roche. It's just the 2 supports as well. Okay, they've got the chorus.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's not going that fast.
Your song has fallen to the radiant.
Secondary life on Kiyotaka. It's a little bit interesting. You think about how many kills have gone to Antares. He's got 7 of the 11 kills. He's going for a straight up Heaven's Halberd for the team. So that's one solution for the Deuce, I suppose. More strength. Get a little bit tankier on that Sky. Down the line, perhaps he gets the shard, although I don't think he's bottom network. He is not. So it's more than likely going to Roger, unless he drops his items.
Radiant's middle
Or
tower
RNG
is
favors him
under
among the
attack.
2. Yeah, could be the chosen one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How?
Middle tower
What?
is under attack.
And they find the Aegis life, but it doesn't count for much. They just wanted to play aggressive on 9 Pandas, and they get it. Antares, that would have been a massive kill with his streak he has, 7-0. And he can't even find the Sky. And that was before his Sanj came out for the extra durability and stat resist. So now that's a little bit tougher as well. It feels like they need to toss everything to kill off the Sky Rat Mage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Always
Dire's
nice to
top
see.
tower is under attack.
Yeah. 474 with the drums on top. So it's too speedy. Too speedy to pin down. And again, the one bright side for TSM is Tomato is farming. But we saw this last game as well, where he was just farming in that Terror Blade. Granted, it's a lot faster now. He's #1 in net worth. He is reaching that critical mass point where you will have the stats to back up the Dusa now, having more strength to play with. So at the least, it kind of helps out there. The one thing as well, I think that I wanted to mention in lane is because barrier reduces damage before armor, right? So if you're in negative armor, it's actually not bad, right? Like you actually gain something when you're in negative armor. You just block before reductions. You're not losing more mana than you should be.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's just kind of stalled out. We'll get started to... Ramses? Are you alright? Are they okay?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He doesn't even get the shard. At least it's one death on the streak.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, at least the one death he has with the streak is 2 to Tormentor, so he doesn't lose the streak yet.
Radiant's bottom tower
They
is
get
under
the shard up and going for White Mon, which is massive as well. Got a little bit more play here. Yeah. And you also get the levels, right? Like the additional level now on some abilities at the creep, so more impact from this Alpha Wolf, higher critical strike, 250%. Yeah, it's pretty nice for Roger to have. So I'm wondering if they were also pinging out Roger to use Hand of God. Just to have them live. He doesn't. He's a stone cold killer. It's like, no, kill that thing. Kill it now.
We'll take that. This is mine.
Ramses?
Radiant's top tower is under
Forced out
attack.
the BKBs though, and they reveal the Scotty
Radiant
on Tomato. So you now have a
structures
Dusa issue.
Dire's
She
middle
is
tower is
exceptionally
under attack.
durable. We still have
Radiant's
not
top
seen
tower
any
is
solution
under
towards that
attack.
Dusa, except a couple of Heaven's Halberds coming out. So this is where Tomato can start playing. Sure, they're 8k behind, but
Radiant's
this is a
top tower
hyper-farmed
has
Medusa,
fallen.
way above even Miera on the Alchemies.
Radiant's turret has been killed. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They see him if they wanted to kind of run him down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Running up. Running down again. I'll steal him. There you go. has one great, a little bit of burst healing on hand. The side of 9 Pandas don't really manage to find him, but again, he's pinned down for at least half a minute. Antares? No way.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, there you go. It's a pretty big kill. Again, Antares is worth a little bit too much on the Skywrath Mage. Good amount of gold coming out here for the side of TSM, and Tomato finally, again, with this activity starting to take for the team, it doesn't feel like 9 Pandas have itemized at all to care for the Medusa. Not a single defusal,
Radiant's
nothing
bottom
like that
tower
being
is
queued up
under
for
attack.
Ramses, just halberds.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, just kind of get thrown around. TSM, they're starting to feel themselves. They go for a smoke. 9 Pandas smoking up as well. Interesting smoke on smoke.
Sprites are with us.
Penance.
It's just difficult to line up for that Ice Blast that you need to connect here from TSM. Unless the good roll can come in, but Brala just gets picked off early in that fight before he can get anything done. Needs more protection than Pangolier is going for the Lincolns. And it's going to help the cause, especially against that single target stun here. Oh my god. They're just gonna rush for that?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's way too much. Oh. Oh. What?
Radiant's courier has been killed.
What? Pretty big. Yeah, they've got to make their way there. It's top for at least one more minute. It's gonna switch out sooner rather than later. Tomato is just a massive issue. Like, his illusions are way too tanky. I think that's the bigger thing that makes the Dusa more annoying. And not really the main hero, just the fact that her illusions with a mana shield is... it's too much. They'll try to force a Roche with a minute left. I suppose if they can clear it fast enough, you don't have to worry about any shenanigans here, but it doesn't feel like they clear it fast enough. It should. Yeah. It should still do that. So, yeah, except no one's really queuing it up right now in 9 Pandas. We don't have that instant answer just yet, and they will be able to clear the Roche in a minute. It's more than enough time here.
Roshan has fallen to the gun. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm wondering it now. 9 Pandas. Their biggest problem is really just Tomato. Like, this Dusa is just way too much up front.
Dire's bottom
The self-sustain she has with Mystic Snake is way too high as well. And this is her without her usual shard Ags buildup as well. It doesn't even feel necessary for Tomato to have to work into that. 9 Pandas, still nothing like the diffusal up. They're just, again, trying to ignore as much as they can, but I don't think you can anymore. Not at the point where Tomato has 2.23k overall, net worth overall in comparison to everyone else. Like a good solid 4k lead, 6k lead actually on top of pretty much every other hero. Even Miero, who has slowed down on the Alchemist. So, your strat of just ignoring Dusa, it's not gonna work. Even sieging high ground, that's not something you can even do, as the Dusa is just a great turret.
Radiant's middle tower
She can
is
solo.
under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it's
Dire
big on either
are
side. You
Radiant's
feel like you
middle
might be
tower
better
is
off
under
with
attack.
Kasane, and they do get that, so they've got a little bit more control from the back line. Just much more to play with. It's pretty damn good. Just, again, more control, which they are kind of lacking on the side of TSM. On the side of 9 Pandas now. I mean, again, their farm distribution with their course is still solid. Their only problem is Tomato. Like, they're still a solid 6k ahead of the other cores on the side of TSM. I mean, TSM, you're Kasane and Brawler are still tied in with Ari's farm on the Ench. So it's still not smooth going there. But as long as Tomato lives, man, you don't really care.
Invisibility.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Monster kill.
Yeah, and that's pretty big. I mean, you know, you take out Aegis, you take out the threat of a follow-up fight with the Ancient Apparition being gone, so you don't have to worry about the healing reduction for a little bit. You can kind of try to force things out here, as Kiyotaka is still hunting. too much output from Ramses now with Rupture maxed out. So now they've got an opening for the high ground.
Dire's
Tomato,
middle tower is under attack.
no Stone Gaze for a few more seconds here. Does have the BKB
Are fortified.
on that Dusa to be a bit of a threat, but I does feel like they've got some solution to the output on Kiyotaka.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's just way too durable. And when you can melt for the mana, it doesn't feel that way.
Dire's
And as we've seen, if they can isolate Tomato in these fights, then the Deuce still melts. You know, mana's gone, a couple of hits, you're still dead, even at 2k HP, which is so weird to say. That's a decent amount, but at 35 minutes in, it's just not quite. And he's smoke up now as well on the side of TSM. Try to find something off the back of this retreat. That was pretty upfront here. Retreats in the nick of time. What items are we looking at here? Abyssal for Ramses, not too far off. And still the Octarine for Kiyotaka, which I don't mind. Lower cooldowns are always good, especially on Tiny, which you kind of want 3 Volley to be up as much as possible. There it is. So the bombardment can now begin. 12.8 seconds, 13-second cooldown. Way more uptime. The side of TSM, they've got the control. For TSM, it's now just trying to play forward with Tomato while protecting him enough. Just a little bit of a misstep up on the high ground down bot was enough to give that opportunities for the 9 Pandas to kind of take momentum back their way and get that build up. So this is where the game's interesting, right? You're past 36 minutes. It's down to just who jumps who, how to pick off shape up. You've got a lot of map space to still farm in for both sides despite dropping towers. For the reset, the big thing here for 9 Pandas is they force out the BKB, Stone Gaze, and they didn't really commit too much on 9 Pandas. Like, they still have their own BKBs up, they still have a Rupture ready to go. They didn't make that many sacrifices, so if they find another opening on Tomato, and this is where that Deuce is going to be a bit vulnerable without the threat of the Stone Gaze to drag these heroes away. Could be a sitting duck up front. They'll smoke up here though.
Say your prayers.
It's difficult. Their control is just not there. Your supports don't have that much to give with Tomato. What?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He managed to clip him. It's still not as worthwhile. Like, you do get a lot more from just killing off Miero. Again, a consequence of how the kills are calculated now with net worth. So you're still happier here on the side of TSM. You don't lose out on Tomato. Your Medusa's positioning is still on point. They haven't been able to find Tomato up front too often now on the side of 9 Pandas, although it still has been a little bit scary for Tomato. They could be sneaky here and find more pickoffs. That could be big.
Dire are scanning.
Oh!
My thrift rewarded.
Way too risky. Way too risky to kind of put yourself in that position. They still had the TP point in the outpost there as well. Just
Radiant's
easily
middle
back up.
tower is under attack.
Oh. Oh, it's ridiculous. He has way too much output right now in Kiyotaka. And he is the solution to that Dusa even down the line, when he can just kind of channel in and follow up from the control of his team. See, it's still a... It's so weird to say it's an even game of 31 to 10, but it is just by nature of the Dusa right now. You're right through that rough early phase of the game, get your farm going, and you are still a beast in the late game. Kiyotaka. I wish we could see what else was available. Maybe it's just down to the fact that you don't have that much. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, like at this point, it does feel like you're kind of durable enough. Even a full volley, only down to half, maybe less than half mana being taken away is already a sign enough that you could probably get away with that. Roche does begin though for the side of 9 Pandas. They've got control down bot, and that does have the free Ag's Blessing now. I wonder who they hand it off to.
The sun has fallen to the Radiant.
Oh my god.
Your blood is mine.
Yeah, it's a very open possibility for the side of 9 Pandas, and as soon as they see that Tomato doesn't have enough to commit for the buyback, it gets scary. He bought out the Swift Blink recipe, along with a Blink Dagger. That's why he doesn't have the gold. Bought out?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm curious what they do with the Ags here on side of 9 Pandas. And Tyrus is still holding on to it. He's not passing it to anyone yet, but he's not using it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good. But it's not. Maybe you kind of want to give it to Ramses for the overheal, but it doesn't feel like you're finding too many overheal opportunities with the AA on hand anyway. And a Scotty. Just like that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh my god.
Radiant
game coming out from them. Very consistent.